Hey folks, it's Handmade by Shirley here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do a wee stenciling video today. And these are the cards that I've made. This was my very first one I made, which I made the other day. And I just used the actually the inks that were on my brushes through this stencil by Sweet Poppy, which is a tree. Also turned it round to the other side so I could have it on the other side. And then today so that was what I came up with the other day. So today I had my class one-to-one lady, I should say, not my class lady, and we did this. We did 2 cards, so just to show her the different techniques you could use. So this one went this way, and it was used with just the brush, the colours that were on my brushes as well. And then I used this one here, which I'm not as happy with because I went round doing some dotty bits and I don't like that bit. If that bit wasn't there, I'd be okay with it, but it was just to show you. So I had done that with some of my, what do you call them? I've got Mica Powders, so I'd done that one with that. So I thought I'd show you both ways how I did it. So I just use that piece. So I say it's a Sweet Poppy stencil, and these are metal stencils, so they're quite sturdy. So I've got a couple of card bases. I'm just probably going to do white on the white, and then I've just went and smudged that there. And I've got these, I've got these Mica Powders from Craft Artist, which I've had for ages. So these ones are sort of nice kind of coppers, and there's a bit silver and grey, charcoal and black. And this one is more colourful, like so. So you've still got your silver, your white, your black, you've still got your coppers, but you've got some other colours in there as well. So yeah, Mica Magic Metallics. Okay, so I thought I would just show you how I made these cards. So I really should actually clean this a bit because it's a bit grubby looking. I'm not trying to actually wash it. I'll just give it a quick wee sponge down. I don't suppose it'll really matter that much. So I'll keep it this side up, and all I did was, I've got a piece of basic white card from Stampin' Up. This was one I did earlier as well, and you can probably, if I hold it a certain way, you should be able to see the shimmer of the mica. So mica is like metallics in the powder. And then on this one I just actually was splattering some metallic pens as well. But I'm going to turn this over and use this side, and I'm just going to pop it down. I think there's a wee bit there that's bent for some reason. Let's pop that back up. So just pop it on like that, and I think I'm going to use, I've just use a little brush with this, just any little brush, it's not any particular brush. And I'm just going to use these coppery colours. So I'm just going to hold it in place. I'm not going to tape it down either. I mean, if you wanted to do this sort of thing, you could tape it down. So what I did was I just went round kind of stippling a little bit of the mica in different areas. I didn't stick to one area, and I just kind of mixed the colours. I didn't keep it all the same because I wanted a bit of a contrast. And I did use some of the silvers as well. So just kind of stippled it back and forward like so, and then went just to different parts, as I see. Oh, and if it moves, you can easily pop it back in place. I suppose that is the beauty of putting it on with tape, but I tend not to do that on my projects. I tend just to do it, wing it, as they say. Right. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm just going to kind of move a bit of some of that about so we can get some more. Just sort of actually getting some powder there. Okay. And then I can pick some more up, you see. That's better. So as I say, I didn't pick any particular colours. All the colours are similar, apart from the kind of blacks and the greys. They're all kind of similar in colour, but then all a bit different. You see what I mean? So it's just a case of getting as much of that in between your stencil as possible. I didn't do that one, I don't know why, or maybe I did and I've used it. So, yeah, just so I'm not taking any particular, doing it any particular way or whatever. And then just lift it off if you can. And then you get this kind of, this look, which is quite soft. I think it looks quite soft, but quite effective. And yeah, just get rid of the excess. So that was one way of doing it, as I see. Do it that way. The other way that I did it was just plainly with ink. And I used the ink that was on my blending brushes to do that. And I didn't do it any particular way either. So I just did exactly the same. I just want to wipe this away. You can see that's done. And then I did turn it over, I think, for one of them. You don't have to, well, if you were using this particular one. So I've already cut this to size because my card base is a 6x6. So I've cut this to 5, I think it's 5x5. And I've already got stuff on it, but that won't matter because that'll be getting covered up. So I tend to line my grid paper, oh, see, you've done that with that, but it doesn't matter because it's going to get covered. So I'm lining my grid paper up with the card I've got, pop that to the side, and I'm just popping it on like so because I want the tree to go the other way. And as I said, I just used what was on my blending brushes. So it's the same kind of thing. It's except you're trying to get in to all these pieces as well, and I just randomly kind of put bits of colour on. I mean, that was orange. I've got a kind of blue colour on here. It doesn't really matter what colour you have. Just do a bit of a random blending, basically. As I say, you could add extra colour to it if you wanted. For instance, here's some of this purple from Stampin' Up, which I could add if I wanted to make it a wee bit deeper there, for instance, just as an example. And I could add, let's try a different colour. I've got this green as well. And although it's blue in my brush, I'm just going to not be so bothered about that. Could add a little bit of green there, a little bit there, just to give it a slight difference, and I think that will be me. And so then that's what comes out at that when you've done that. So similar thing. Now what I need to do though is I want to ground my tree. So what I usually tend to do is I just get a piece of scrap paper and I just rip it so that it's kind of hilly. That wasn't so good. Let's try again. So kind of make it go a bit hilly-ish. So that's a bit better. And then what I would do is I would just possibly rip a wee bit more off there, and then I just hold it there at the very bottom of my piece where I wanted to ground my tree. I think I might just do it this way around. And I will just use this. So what was on my brush was this sort of green colour. So just go round that, and that kind of, you can just see that's kind of grounded it. You can do it a wee bit darker. So try and find the bit that you did it on, hold it in place, and just, because I always think it looks better when your tree doesn't look like it's floating, and then you could do an extra wee bit just to cover some of the marks, because there's a few wee marks there that you maybe don't want. Well, I certainly don't want them. So, you know, you could, and then you can just go over that area a little bit, just to give it a bit of grounding and interest. And then I've also got another brush which I think had blue on it, so I'll just check first if that's got blue. I think it does. So, and all I did was I went round the edge just to give it a bit of definition as well. Try and hide that dirty mark. And it's just a really nice effect, and it's very easy to do. I mean, you could do it with any stencil. It doesn't have to be this particular one that I'm using. It could be absolutely anything. Yep, like so. And then the next thing I think I did was I just found a sentiment. Now I've got a couple of sentiments here that I had already done before, but the other day when I was doing this particular thing, I probably lost it now. What I did was I did exactly the same thing with the birthday. I've lost the happy from birthday, and I inked up the stamp so that I got the two colours on there. So you could do that if you wanted, if you wanted to do something like that, but today I found these old Stampin' Up ones, and it's called Well Defined, and I really liked the Gratitude one, so I think I'm going to put the Gratitude one again. I don't think I'm going to do it with the colours because I tried it before and it didn't really work very well with the stamp. Not sure why, it just didn't work too well. So what I think I'll actually do is should have a piece of paper. So there's the bits that I tried to do it before and it didn't really take that well. So we could try it again, see if it works. Just put this on a scrap, put this onto a little block, and I could try it again just to see. So put a little bit of the pink, a little bit of that one, which I think was greeny blue, then a little bit of the yellowy colour. Let's see if this works. Probably better if I had something under it right enough. I don't have anything on the table. Anyway, we'll just go for it. And see, it doesn't come out very dark. So I'm just going to do it in, I've got a nice dark blue here called Night of Navy, which I will just get, and I'll do it in that, I think. So let's get a piece of card to do it on if I've got any on the table. Should have, yeah, I do. So here's a piece. I'll just move this up and we'll just tap that into Night of Navy. I'm sorry, I'm actually out of shot. I'll do that again. Or if you wanted, you could do it second generation, and that makes the a bit lighter. So yeah, I really like that verse. I think that is so nice. Gratitude, the feeling in my heart when I think about you. Really nice, yeah. And that's very important. Having gratitude is very important to me. So all I did now was I cut this out, and I picked the one that I thought I was going to have. I just cut this out with scissors. So I think I'll go for that slightly darker one. Let's see what it's going to be like. And I just cut it out. You could cut it out with a die or a punch or something if you wanted. Yeah, that's a bit too big. So I'm just cutting it down a bit, trying to keep it straight. It's not my best thing cutting straight, and it looks even squint at the minute. So if I just try and hold it straight, it still looks a bit squint. If I don't like it, I can always, yeah, I think it's this bit here. So the feeling in my heart when I think of you is gratitude. I just think that's nice, but there is a slightly lighter one because I am actually thinking that's too dark to go on there, so I'll cut this one down as well and then decide. So it's either that one or the paler one. let's just get the card base just now till I decide. So that's squinty, right, that's better. So I put it there, so either like that or like that. Actually, I quite like in the dark one now, so I think I'll go for the dark one. And I'm just going to pop some colour have we got? Blue. Just going to pop some of that Night of Navy around the edges of this as well, just to define it a little bit against. So just dipping it in at the edges, dipping that bit in, and then that just kind of gives it a defining line to go down there. And I might do that with this as well. So just dipping that in all the way along each edge. Like that. Don't drag it against along your ink pad because it will split and then you won't be able to use it as well as you did before. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, that's a bit better. That just gives that bit of definition as well. And then I'm just going to pop it together, I think, like so. So I'm just going to pop it on. I've got some Pret stick here today, so just pop that on the back. Don't normally use this glue, but it was on the table and other stuff is there, but I thought we'd just change it up and use this one. And now I've got marks over my card. Let's just turn it around. Oh, and I've got marks on there as well. Never mind. So, before I actually stick it down, just make sure it's relatively straight. I've got some marks there. I might be able to get them off with the glue rubber. And that is actually squinty. That's what happens when you use different glue. I shouldn't have bothered. I'm going to stick the sentiment on with some foam pads here. Like so. Just two on the back like that together. Now I do have a glue rubber, so let's see if I can get the glue off with the rubber without too much. I don't think it's going to come off. Oh dear, that's a bit annoying. Maybe don't to waste the card. It's a wee bit better. Right, let's see what could I do to maybe disguise it. So perhaps I could use a little bit of this dotage, as I call it, and just do it very, very faintly. So I've got a sort of dotty piece from one of the stamps. And then I'm just going to use the Night of Navy, but I'm going to stamp off because I don't think Night of Navy will be too dark. So just stamp off a bit. And we'll see if we can kind of cover it somehow. So I'm doing 3rd generation stamping here. Really not what I wanted, but it's to cover some bits that are a bit messy. So 1, 2, and then stamp onto there, just to kind of disguise that messy bit I'd made. They say there's always a way to disguise things, and I think that's right. I think there is. But this really wasn't planned. But I'll just get away with that. So that's really it. So either, if you ever wanted to use mica powders this way through a stencil, you could. That's how I did it at first there just now, and I've also did it through, and you can see the mica just kind of shining, but then this is the one where I did it with just what was on my blending brushes. You could actually do it with extra ink on your blending brushes and just do it that way. Then you go around the edge with your what's on your brush, you ground it because you don't want your tree to look like it's floating in the air. And then if you make a mess, you can actually fix it by putting something like this dotty pattern on the top. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching that, and I really do appreciate people's support, and I love getting the comments, and thanks for those. Please subscribe to my channel and please share away, and thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye for now.